This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Lovely stuff.
Hey, lovely, lovely.
I tell you what, though, folks, that's bloody nice. That is bloody lovely.
Lovely Holland. Lovely touch. Lovely Holland. Lovely touch.
Oh, hello there. Welcome to The Lovely Show. I'm your host, Kevin McGarren. With me today, instead of Justine Stafford, who's still off gallivanting in Edinburgh, is the amazing Ali Fox.
Hello.
Comedian, actor,
Yeah.
writer, poet, dancer,
All of that. Panel beater,
panel beater.
magician, butcher.
How would you like to be known? Like if you're introducing yourself at a wedding, or let's say you're talking to a taxi driver and he says, "What do you do?" What do you say?
I always say the same thing. I'm an arts worker.
What does that mean?
Exactly.
So that immediately makes him just go to sleep and not ask any questions.
Yeah, because you could be a civil servant.
Yeah.
You could be rubber stamping things in the Arts Council. You could be
So you'd never say actor or comedian,
never.
because what's the first question they ask you if you said you're an actor?
Would I know you nothing?
Yeah.
Do you have any money? Or like people ask
Do you have
like,
any money?
Yeah. Do you make a good
I've got
living?
enough for this cab. Like I can.
Not even sometimes.
Has the Fair City thing changed your life much since you got into Fair City?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I say that with great earnestness. It really changed my world.
Like everybody knows you now.
Yeah, I guess the viewership is actually incredible, Kevin. Like it kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
So that's a weird thing to get used to, but also to, and I mean this very sincerely, to go into somewhere every day and be in a 3-camera setup is the great joy of my life. And sometimes I'm not mad about the scenes, or I feel there's too much of an emotional leap from, character to character, or, episode to episode. But I trained for that and it's great.
Because you have to be on the ball. They don't do a lot of takes
No.
in Fair City. I remember I did extra work years ago, and I did Fair City once. I don't think I'd ever do it again. I remember like they give us half days, so they didn't have to pay us that much. And I was like, "God, when you take away the dole for the day and add on this, I'm not not making much out of this."
Yeah.
But I remember the director was like, "Okay, you. I need you to be sitting down here. This actress is going to come over. She's going to plosh a plate of chips." It was in The Hungry Pig.
Oh, yeah.
That was called. She's going to plosh a plate of chips down really roughly on the table, and you're going to, give a sort of like, "Come on, what the fuck is this about? This is bad service," that kind of reaction.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Sound okay, got it." Action. Yuan comes in, ploshes down the chips, and I gave like a sort of reaction. They're like, "Okay, cut. Do it then. I need more. What's your name, Kevin? I need more from you. Need more from you." I was like, "Yeah, sound. Everyone else, brilliant." We did it like 4 more times, and I was getting more exasperated, but with no dialogue, because you're told as an extra, you're not allowed to speak.
Because if you do, they have to pay you.
Yeah, they'll have to pay you. So I just kept going like, and on it, we got to take 9. Everyone was going, "What the fuck is going on here?" They're like, "A fucking extra keeps fucking it up." So eventually the director was like, "Kevin, say something. Say something." And I was like, "Oh, right, okay, I didn't realise I was allowed to talk." You unplushed down the plates, and I just went, for fuck's sake.
Brilliant.
They're like, "Right, let's just go to lunch. Just give it to somebody else."
Is that what actually happened?
Yeah. It was so bad. But they talked about it. Everyone after the lunch, they were like, "Geez, what was the story there? We're doing 10 takes of one scene." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that was me."
That was me.
Because I couldn't give a reaction to chips falling on my lap.
Oh, God.
But I'd say it's stressful. You need to know your lines, I'd say. If you're only getting 1 or 2 takes for something,
Yes. You need
you got to know the shit.
You need to be on the ball all the time, which gives you great discipline, especially to be ready to go that early in the morning. I metabolise very slowly. I do my best work in the middle of the night, no matter what it is, making sandwiches, writing things, coming up with ideas. So to be ready to go in the morning has also changed my life. And I know that sounds mental, but your whole routine changes if you're in continuous drama. You have a different life.
Wow. Not much room for improv, I'd say.
Actually, I get away with murder.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Sometimes we'll need to add in something to elongate a scene.
Okay.
You know, if somebody's walking through the door of McCoy's, but I'm seated at the last table and there's like 20 steps for the other actor to take, they'll want me to improvise with my grandson. Yeah, I'm a nanny on the show. Yeah, I'm a nana. And I have
That's
great
two
baby
generations
acting.
of people having very kids at a very early age.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So your daughter did not learn from your mistake.
She didn't, but we're happy about it.
Very good.
Yeah, we're a tight unit. But I'd be able to speak to the baby, and you know, simple things like that come very naturally to me, and I think come to all good comedians. I throw in loads of jokes. Once, for example, and this even made the trailer, like the sneak peek that goes out online, and it was broadcast on TV as well. I encounter my eldest daughter's boyfriend. Nobody likes him in the town. He's a real down and out time waster, loser guy. And my line was, you can put a pig in a tuxedo, but it'll still be a pig. And I came really close into his face and snorted at him, like staring at him. And they left it in. And I don't warn anybody about these things. It's funny what you can get away with if it's in keeping with the tone of the scene.
Where does Fair City take place? Is it north side or is it south side?
It's Dublin 9. It's supposed to be Drumcondra-ish.
It's supposed to be Bertie Ahern territory.
Exactly, the cat and cage.
Oh, right, yeah, because I remember, have you ever watched the very first episode?
Yes.
It's on the player.
And it's on YouTube as well.
Is it? Because that was in a real estate.
Yeah, and it was there for a long time.
Was it?
Yeah.
And then I always felt it was in this sort of netherworld between the north side and the south side. It could be anywhere. It could be in space.
It could be.
Could be
Some of the
anywhere.
characters are in space.
Yeah, yeah. Because they don't shoot down by RT now, do they?
Oh yeah, that's where we are.
But I was down there in the old set, and it's all like, it looks like fucking post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, that looks like a scene from The Road
Yeah,
or something.
exactly,
Yeah,
yeah,
that is that where you did your scene as in The Hungry
Yeah,
Pig?
yeah.
Yeah, that's gone now. I'd say maybe 9 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so we are smack bang in the middle of it. In the middle of the RTE
So
grounds, as you know.
Right, it's in the studios.
In the studios. And then we have an EFP lot, electronic field production, for all our outdoor scenes just behind Studio C. So you do know it. You've walked past it, I'd say, and you just can't see it.
Okay. So for the outdoor scenes, there's, what did you say, EFP?
EFP, electronic field
That's not like what
production.
they use in The Mandalorian, where it's like a wraparound screen.
God, no.
No, okay. I was
No.
thinking that's like, I think that's
No,
worth
we
about 4
can't
million.
afford that.
Yeah, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. So you studied acting. Mm-hmm. How'd you get into comedy?
Oh, Kevin, this is a mad one, right? It's simple, yet kind of profound as well. My Nana Fox was a very elderly lady when she died, and I was helping to look after her for about 6 years every day.
Wow.
And it was great, and she passed away when she was going on 96. So it wasn't a great tragedy, but I was very grief-stricken, and I felt like I had no purpose. And the day we buried her, one of my uncles said to me, "What are you going to do now, Al?" And I was like, God, I don't know. He was like, well, you need a hobby.
You could have given me a day, uncle.
Yeah,
Like,
give me
a
one day. Yeah,
before
and this
I
was
have to, like,
outside the
start
boozer.
handing out CVs at the fucking grave.
Yeah, she was just in the ground.
Wait till she's fucking cold.
Yeah, and it kind of, I don't see this uncle very often.
Yeah.
And it kind of stayed with me, and I was like, I do need to do something. And I wasn't getting any tapes. I wasn't being seen for anything. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to start billing myself as a comedian in my head,
Yeah.
and see where it goes, because I had so much time to fill now. And it was 2016. Oh my God. And it was a fruitful time for new female comedians.
Yeah.
And I was so lucky with the gigs that I got. Like, I was programmed in the International Literature Festival almost straight away. I had befriended the Hardy Books. They were unbelievably supportive to me. I got to open for them in Vicar Street. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Wow.
But I was there.
Yeah, yeah.
So cometh the hour, cometh the man, or whatever.
It probably... So what age were you when this started?
26.
You're still pretty young. But you probably had enough confidence, I'd say. And I suppose ignorance is a great thing.
It's bliss.
Because you just motor into something.
Yeah.
And you don't have as much self-doubt as, you know, if you were starting when you're 19. Like, I started I think I was like 18, 19.
Really?
And you're you haven't a clue what anything is. I was untrained as well. But I think having that actor background as well kind of probably gave you a lot of confidence.
It bolsters you, you know, and you do know that you're funny.
Yeah.
And I know this is something that you like to ask people, and I'm sure you knew it as a kid as well. I was like, I'm grand here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'll just keep trying.
So what was your first gig like?
It was great.
Were you doing stories or characters or what?
Stories,
Yeah.
and it was cherry comedy.
Yeah.
And the guys were so supportive, and the place was packed, and people were very kind to me. And I was asking people that I knew and no one trusted, like, what did you think of that bit, or did that work, or whatever? And generally the note that I got was, you're disarming people. And some people would have said, you know, we hate when a new comic stands up because your empathy cup kind of overfloweth, and you're like, fuck, I don't want them to be embarrassing, and I can't even really look at them, and they're nervous, so now I can't enjoy myself.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there with a pint, but they can't drink it because they hate you in some way.
Yeah.
Or they're embarrassed for you. But people said that I disarmed everybody and I seemed comfortable. So if the performer is comfortable, the audience should relax with you. And I thought, well, Jesus, at least that's something. I'm not the funniest person in the room, but at least I have the confidence to stand here and people aren't fearing for my life or what happens to me if this doesn't go well.
It's the worst thing in the world, seeing somebody get up there and you're like, oh man, I can see them sweating and I can see them crumbling inside.
Yeah.
And now it can also be great crack. If it's somebody you don't like and they're dying on their arse, you're like, oh God, this is
fantastic.
This is like crack.
Yeah.
This is like crack cocaine.
Oh, Kevin, I don't deny it. I see it happening, and I'm like, yeah, the validation of it is, it will lead to egomania in me for like a couple of seconds, and then I'll have to let it go. But I do know what you mean.
I felt as well, the one thing that gave me the most confidence when I started off is going to open mics and then seeing, like when you're watching like fucking, you grow up watching Tommy Tiernan videos and all these amazing comedians, Billy Connolly, you're like, I could never fucking do that. But then when you go to an open mic show, 70% of them are shit.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant because it makes you go, fuck it, I could fucking do that.
Yeah.
I could at least do better than those three guys. And then you're kind of away in a hack.
You are,
Yeah.
That can be a very useful thing to do, to go out there and properly break down people's set and pick out what you like and don't like and learn from it.
When's the first time you felt funny?
It's such a good question. I was very young and we were at this barbecue and I started to talk. I was probably like 8, maybe 9, and all the adults stopped talking and turned around. They weren't laughing straight away, but I was like, oh,
I've got something here.
Yeah, I commanded attention from these people, and some of them were strangers. And I was telling a little story, and eventually people laughed and like gave me 20 pence and like ruffled my hair or said, aren't you a great girl? Or, you know, little things like that. And aren't your mum and dad very lucky to have you, and stuff like that. And then that feeling of like class.
Yeah. Especially from strangers. Like it's one thing getting it from your aunt, but getting it from strangers who are like, oh my God, I made money today.
Yeah.
I made money just by talking.
Yeah.
And that stuck with you?
Definitely a handy earner.
Yeah.
You know, just I think having the ability to get adults' attention. We didn't get that much attention at home. Most kids are the fucking same. Like, and my mum and dad's marriage broke down in a very serious way, and kids obviously pick up on this. And myself and my siblings would try to put on shows to get them to talk to each other.
Oh, wow.
So, and I'm sure a lot of people come from a similar background as well, and we would do anything we could. We used to dress up as the lads from Après Match, dressing up as you
Johnny
two.
All right, yeah.
And Johnny Giles and Eamon Dunphy
Yeah.
and Chippy and Marion Finucane and Jerry Ryan and all those characters. That actually, Après Match had a profound, huge influence on me. And Bull Island, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember Bull Island.
So we would try to do all that. And we had a costume box going, but it was all to try and make my parents talk to each other.
And Ali, did it work?
No. No. But yeah.
I mean, it was a long shot.
It was a long shot.
fucking
We
long
didn't make
shot,
any
Ali.
money off those shows.
I wouldn't feel bad about that.
Oh,
I
no, I
think
don't.
I don't think that's a reflection on your ability as a performer.
Yeah,
or
and
a
I was doing
writer.
the box office for it as well.
There
yeah,
you go.
I was running ragged.
You're probably charging too much as well.
Probably, yeah. We had no money to begin with. But yeah.
God, that's kind of amazing. That's a good origin story.
Yeah, I guess so. But you would have been the same. I'm not making any comment on your parents' marriage or relationship, but would you have found yourself trying to entertain adults?
Not so much adults. I think it was more of like there was certain things I was just shit at. Like I was shit at football.
Were you?
And it really broke my heart growing up.
Oh.
Because it was like everyone was mad about football. And if you weren't good at football, you were basically ostracized from the town. So
Okay.
I remember when I stopped trying to be good at football and I was like, I'm actually going to just try and make everyone here laugh instead. And it kind of, I was like, all right, so I have this. This is what I can be. You know, I'm not going to be on the team. I'm not going to be good at football. But if the footballers are laughing at me, they kind of would be happy to have me around.
You're
I was
in.
kind of, same in school. So it was kind of a defense mechanism
Yeah.
for like fitting in, I suppose.
Yeah.
How
That's a big thing, isn't it, in your young life?
How was school for you?
I went to an amazing primary school, and I'm going to say the name because I want people to know how good this school is,
Okay.
right? It's called North Bay Educate Together National School Project in Kilbarrack.
Long name.
It is locally known as North Bay,
So it sounds like something
multi-denominational.
I'd say by the bell.
It might as well have been. It was a fantastic school. It is a fantastic school. We actually moved. I'm a Southsider.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. We moved from Terranure to Kilbarrack
Yeah.
so that I could go to this school.
Wow.
And my brother and sister also attended this primary school. It was phenomenal. There were only 2 Educate Togethers on the north side of Dublin at that time. The first ever one that we had was Finglas.
I was gonna say because I'd see that as a relatively new thing in Ireland, the Educate Together stuff.
But it's not. That's the thing.
Wow.
So Finglas was 87 and North Bay was 89. I was born in 1990, joined in 94. And the school blew my mind. Like, we didn't wear uniforms. We called all the teachers by their first name. It was a very small school, but we were taught about world religions and world cultures. You could have asked me anything about Islam when I was 5 years of age and I would have been able to answer it
Seriously?
accurately. Yeah, it gave me a great love for world cultures and respecting people of all walks of life. And I think it honestly made me and my siblings who we are today.
Yeah.
But then the Celtic Tiger hit, right? And my dad got this idea into his head that he was going to buy property in Spain and that we were going to eventually move there. Now, the follow-on school for North Bay is Mount Temple, that pretty famous school on the north side of Dublin, has that Educate Together ethos, but they didn't have Spanish on the curriculum. So my dad wouldn't let me go. So I ended up in a local convent, which attempted to erase everything that I held dear from that gorgeous
Everything that made you
Educate
a
Together school.
well-rounded human being.
Yeah.
Wow.
So to answer your question, I loved primary school and secondary school was a real struggle, and I still have bile that comes up my neck for the way I was treated by some of the female teachers in that school. Kevin, I won't let it go, the things that were said to me.
I think about this often. You know the way some people say like, oh, the fucking Angelus. The Angelus is so stupid. We need to get rid of it. And a part of me is like, yeah, it is ridiculous. We should get rid of the Angelus. But then a part of me kind of thinks it kind of makes us who we are, in the same way as like Catholic guilt and awful teachers. You're like, yeah, I probably would have been happier without them. But then do they kind of make us a bit special? Like a bit interesting? Does trauma make you interesting? Does it make you a better writer? Does it make you a better... It probably makes you like a worse person to be in a relationship. But does it make you a better artist?
Kevin, you're wrecking my head because I know you're right. Yeah, I know what you mean, and I talk about this a lot in some of my comedy stuff. I am very interested in generational trauma and the abuse that Ireland suffered and all of that. It is kind of coded in our DNA, and I do think it makes us very funny and edgy and sarcastic and shit in relationships and codependent, but very sexy and funny. I think,
Sexy,
yes.
fucked up citizens.
Yeah, I think so. And we all look like we cut our own hair and stuff. And I honestly think that is because of the nuns that taught me.
Yeah.
It's their fault.
It is their fault. Yeah, and because you had an experience with both camps, it probably made you very aware of the differences. Like I always say, like my favorite kind of comedians are like those who had like maybe like an Irish mum and an English dad, because they kind of holidayed in Ireland, lived in England, or vice versa, and they know what's ridiculous about both countries because they go back and forth. They don't really belong anywhere. Is that kind of the same? You went from like this really progressive, futuristic school to like Eamon de Valera's Ireland.
Oh, that is such a perfect sentence. And yeah, you do get to see up the wizard's sleeve a bit.
Don't use that phrase.
You know what I mean, though? You get
Sorry,
to
when
see...
you're talking about Catholic school, I just don't want to hear the phrase wizard's sleeve.
I don't mean
talking
that
about nuns.
Yeah, it is kind of sick. But I do get what you mean. Like, I got to see both sides of that coin.
Yeah.
And I suppose it does give you a well-rounded education. I could see the best of like a Catholic ethos and the presence of the catechism in everything that you're learning. Most of it is horseshit, I'm sorry to say, because I came from a completely different buzz in Kilbarrack, you know.
Did they have to beat it out of you? Like, were they annoyed? I imagine you walking in there with your head full of fucking Islam and groovy ideas and feminism. I imagine they were just like, I'm going to fucking beat that shit out of this woman, this girl.
Kevin, it's true, because I was so confident.
Yeah.
They don't want you coming in there with your shoulders down and like an open thorax and like real relaxed and like, what's the story? Like elongated eye contact.
Yeah.
They don't want that. So yeah,
elongated eye contact.
You know what I'm talking about. Like somebody who's very self-assured. They don't like that.
That new girl who looks you in the eye when she talks. Yeah, geez, we'll knock the corners off her.
yeah, definitely. I did feel like that was happening, and as I say, some of the male teachers were sound in there, and sometimes maybe that's like, oh, he's gorgeous, but like actually he looks like the back of the fucking 27B, but he's the only man in a building full of 2,000
5
women.
mile radius.
Yeah, exactly. Nice fellas, but the women in there, some of them, I still have, you know, shower thoughts of you're like, God. I should have said that.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about 2002 and I won't let it go. You never see young priests anymore. Not Irish ones anyway.
It is amazing. Like in the old days, we would send priests to Africa, and now Africa's sending priests back to us.
Yeah, but they jazz up mass so good.
They do jazz up mass.
I love how they say Jesus.
My mum sings in the choir. I'm mad to get her to sing more like American gospel tunes.
Nice.
But,
would they be allowed?
Yeah, I think so. I think the priest is pretty cool. But I think she's like, I don't know how to sell that. Don't know how to sell that. It's too jazzy. It's too jazzy for Cavan.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Fair play to her though. She could be a trendsetter there in time.
I'm not looking for like Sister Act, but like, you know, throw a bit of Hank Williams or something in there.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Lovely stuff.
You were down at EP.
I was, yes.
How did you get on?
Got on very well. I decided to perform on the flat.
So that's not on the stage.
Not
in
on
front.
the stage, yeah.
In with the people.
In with the people.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, and I'm very glad that I decided to do that because there was too much of a chasm there.
Yeah. The comedy tent is ridiculously big. And
Yeah.
people tend to sit outside it, which I hate.
Yeah, they
There's
don't
as-
want to be picked
There's
on, I
as
think.
much people sitting outside the comedy tent as inside it.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because I didn't see that happening at any other tent
No, it
for the whole
doesn't.
weekend.
So
But,
I think that's a
yeah,
good idea. You get down, you immediately connect to the audience.
completely, and I'm terribly short-sighted as well. So it's nice to be able to see people enjoying it. And I think they were enjoying it. One thing I realised for the future, I have to be more prepared for outdoor venues. It was ages since I performed comedy outside properly. I know when we're in Paddy Power, they're tents, but like they're kind of like those cool conservatories that all our mas wanted in the 90s.
Everyone's packed in.
And it's way more indoor feeling. It's very internal. But it's a different beast to be competing with noise pollution and so many people coming and going, and I'll have to keep that in mind. Like, I think I have to strengthen that skill.
Did you do a few days down there?
I did, and I'm still paying for it. I, for some reason, was camping a 40-minute walk away from the main arena. I actually lost weight over the weekend. My trousers were like baggy getting back into the car.
It's probably because you're also drinking, but you're not eating anything.
God, no.
You're eating a kebab a day.
Yeah, or just one ice cream,
one,
which is
yeah.
what happened on Saturday.
Just one bit of food to carry you through.
Yeah.
Any wild stories?
A few mad things happened. Kneecap were camping in the performers area, so that was a shock to the system.
Savage.
Um,
I like how they're still with the people.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure they had like pop-up tents from Dunn's. It was like it was a modest setup. Fair play to them. So that was kind of cool. One thing that really annoyed me was I was struggling to get all the gear into the campsite, and I was less than an hour out from my show. But I needed to pop the tent up to get in to fix my face, because if I don't have a face on, then I can't work, right?
Sure.
So I wanted that little bit of privacy, and obviously you can't really do it anywhere else, and I didn't want to be out in the middle with all my makeup around me on the grass trying to put the tent up, and I see this one out of the corner of my eye walking around in her bare feet in a dry robe, and I could tell nothing else. I was like, she's after recognising me now, and I don't want to talk to her, because you can just tell sometimes. You can see a Fair City fan coming from miles away.
Was she even at Electric Picnic, or did she walk in from her house? Like in
It could have
Stradbally?
been that, but then I got her story.
She sensed that there was a Fair City actor somewhere.
Yeah, like looking at her, God bless her.
Going to walk naked with a dry robe.
Yeah, it was a sight to behold. So she's making her way over to me, like big wide eyes and a big smile like that. You can see somebody leaving their body, and they're having an out of body experience. And I don't like to have that effect on somebody. It's only RT1. No one cares. Okay,
Yeah.
You don't have to do this to me, and also I don't have the time. And she was such a soft-spoken English woman married to an Irish guy. So their kids are probably sound.
Hilarious.
And she was like, "Don't I know you?" I was like, I doubt it, really struggling to get the thing. And she was like, I do know. Where's my husband is a huge fan. Where's my husband? Where's my husband? Where's my husband? And she kept looking around, barely moving for this husband that didn't exist as yet.
Yeah.
So she called him out of this camper van that they had, and they're 4 sprogs. And they came over, and all at the same time, they reached up and just put their hands on my forearm real gently, all of them in a line. And I still have the bars of my tent in my hand, and they're all just touching me and looking at me like this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just floating away. I was like,
you're Christ.
Yeah,
Were they all,
great.
are they mad Fair City fans, or were they just all on pills?
I didn't get
Every
the bang
member
of
of the family.
drugs off them
Yeah.
at all. I think they were just genuine, like big TV watchers,
yeah.
and they couldn't get over it that I was
What is she
standing
doing?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just I'm still getting used to people thinking that it's okay to touch you, which
Yeah.
I don't like that. But yeah, just touching me and invading my space. Like, what are you doing here? I was like, I'm here to work. Obviously, you're standing on the porch of my tent. Get off it. So yeah, trying to get rid of
Hold
people.
a mirror or fuck off.
Yeah, help me with this liquid eyeliner or piss off with your kids. So yeah, that kept happening. So they're not really wild stories, but yeah, encountering people when you're in a hurry at an electric picnic, I could do without that.
What's your opinion on getting with fellas at festivals? Like, I'm talking about you're camping over. I'm not talking about like shifting somebody at a concert and going home. I'm talking about you're camping at a festival. You're there for 3 days. Do you have a rule on getting with fellas, or is that a no-go area?
It's a no-go area, and
Why?
I don't do it. Bacteria.
Yeah.
I can't do it, Kevin.
Yeah.
I just can't. I don't care who he is. It's not happening. I might give my number to someone if I thought there was like a rizzy vibe that could happen somewhere where
Call me after a shower.
there's running water and like a clinical environment. I'm probably verging towards somebody that has a problem with microbes.
Right.
Like, for example, everything that I wore to Electric Picnic between changing of clothes and, you know, you go back to your tent to put on a thermal vest at a certain time. I do that. I hate being cold.
Really?
Yeah, I have to do it. And I don't like, I put some thought into my outfits, so I don't want to disguise what I've, you know, put together, this ensemble. So I put on like ski Under Armour and then put the clothes back on
Put your
top of
fancy
it.
clothes over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I'm cold, I can't socialise and I can't function.
Do you ever wear long johns?
Yeah, real thin ones, ski ones.
Wow.
Yeah, I do that. So that's another reason why I wouldn't want to bang somebody.
Yeah. I mean, that's not going to be sexy.
No, but the point is
Dressing
all
like,
of that goes
just like
on
an old
to...
cowboy.
Yeah.
Like at a campfire with your arse flap at the back.
That will be me. But all of that, anything that I touched, anything that touched off my body went onto a 90-degree wash.
I thought you were going to say burn it.
Sometimes I do throw things
I'm glad
away.
you said you just washed out 90
Sometimes
degrees.
I'm not proud of that, but I do sometimes throw stuff away.
Are you germaphobe?
No, but
But
like
you're close.
I'm close enough. Like I would never ever be able to go near someone else's body at a festival. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it's gross. Plus, you can't be dependent on lads to be clean.
At the best of times, I'm so sorry to say.
That's all right. As a member of the species, I agree.
Yeah, I'd have to. Like I've ended dates, Kevin, because of stuff.
Really? Give me an example.
I walked into a fella's house and could smell the kitchen bin. And it wasn't a bed sit, it was a full gaff.
Yeah.
So there was like a front door, hallway,
There was about 20,
sitting room.
20 feet between you
At
and the
least.
bin. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm out of here. And then I'm not going to go into it now, but I left a hotel because of something that I smelt.
You're not going to get into
I
it.
won't. It's disgusting.
too disgusting. Okay.
It's disgusting. But I have no qualms about being like, this isn't happening now.
Are you a picky dater?
Yeah. I think I said this to you recently. Like, it happens to everybody, I think. But at this age, my tolerance is at 0. But my guard is as high as it's ever been.
So how does that manifest?
I don't date very often because of that. Because
Right.
I'm just like, go away. I can't suffer fools. This is it, right? And I know this might sound insane. Impress me, or sorry.
Impress me or fuck off.
Yeah.
You're like Simon Cowell at season 7 of...
When he's at the end of his rope.
He's just at the end of his fucking rope.
And the cosmetic work that he's getting
his
isn't
face-
holding him
his
up. And that's
face is
me.
falling
That's
apart.
me. Yeah.
Just impress me or fuck off.
Yeah, and I don't mean, I'm not saying you have to be worth a fortune or
No.
be very physically fit. In fact, I prefer men that are very fleshy and, for example, I'll never match with a fella online if he has any sort of photograph with his top off.
Right.
That go away.
Unless it's a big old belly.
No, even then. I prefer overweight men.
Yeah.
Muscles actually intimidate me. But I mean, impress me with eye contact, organising the date, asking me questions about my life.
This is basic stuff.
It's basic stuff, Kevin, but you wouldn't believe it doesn't exist really anymore. And it's a long time since you were in that field.
Do you think for like TY they should teach dating?
I do, and I don't think it should come even in at TY. It should probably come in earlier about how to treat and talk
confirmation?
to women. Maybe.
For
Instead of take the pledge, have a date.
Have a date. The priest takes you out and he teaches
Eddie
you
Rockets.
like, okay, maintain eye contact, ask loads of questions. What are some basic tips for lads dating? Maintain eye contact.
Yeah.
Ask lots of questions.
Yeah.
But don't do it like because you have to do it. Just be interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wash yourself. Wash your bed sheets just in case.
that's a huge one, Kev.
Wash your lad.
You have to have amazing personal hygiene.
Yeah.
You have to. And also, another thing lately, I was only saying this to a good friend of mine, a man. Aftershave is great.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You don't overkill. You don't want to give somebody a sinus infection.
No.
But women really respond to smell. As humans, our olfactory sense, our sense of smell, is very heightened, and we filter pheromones. This is why women are generally smaller than men, because we release a lot of pheromones out of the top of our head.
Really?
That will go right up your hooter.
No way.
Yeah.
Do you think?
So we respond well to that.
Do you think young lads confuse personal hygiene with just shaving body hair?
I do, unfortunately, and that leads to ingrown hairs that just
And scratching.
Yeah.
And speaking of pheromones, body hair holds on to pheromones
Yes, it does.
and holds on to moisture.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you shave all that stuff off, it's not good. It's not natural.
It's not good, and it doesn't create friction either. And that little bit of electricity is very sexy, you know.
Yeah, I think lads would shave themselves before giving themselves a good scrub.
Yeah, and I'm not okay with that.
Okay, you heard it here first, boys.
Thank
It's
you.
not important to
It's not
shave.
important.
Don't
No.
be doing that.
Don't shave.
Scratchy.
It is, yeah.
Do you remember
and I
when
don't.
do you remember when your uncle lifted you up when you were about 6 years old and scratched your face on his face and it was fucking awful? It's that sensation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is that sensation.
Are you on the apps?
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
It's a graveyard for clowns, is what I want to say. I'm on Field and I'm on Raya.
What's Raya?
And I'm going to say this in quotation marks, celebrity dating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, having said that, Kevin,
I think Justine's on that.
is she?
Don't know. I think so. Go on.
Interesting. I must have a chat to her about this. You don't actually have to be in the public eye at all, it turns out. They make you think that.
Right.
And then like one of the first lads that popped up is an ambulance driver, you know, and you don't have to have, 20,000 plus followers
Yeah.
on your Instagram. It's nothing like that. They try to sell you this exclusive dream and it's not that great. But I am getting a great kick out of seeing Premier League footballers pop up on my phone every morning. It's a buzz. They won't talk to me, but it's class.
It's nice to see them.
It's nice to see them.
Are there different levels of celebrity? Like, are you going to see like Danny Dyer and Tom Hardy in the same level? Or
You could. It's not impossible.
It's not a tiered system.
No. It's a free for all.
Right.
So I'm on that, and that's actually all right. That's very interesting. I can now guess what's being filmed in Dublin because of who's popping up.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So that's why I'm paying through the nose for it. You
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
that here first.
Wow.
The Field app is interesting. People are a lot more sexually explicit, which does cut through a lot of bullshit, but then also invites men to say things that you might not be wanting to hear straight
Sure.
away. And then I just get rid of them,
Yeah.
unless, something really piques my interest. But generally it is shit.
But it would have to be fairly poetic smut.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have to be like James Joyce talking about farts.
Something like that. And I know I said this to you recently, and it is part of my current set, trying to filter out losers through the DMs on these apps.
Yeah.
Listeners of the podcast might like this tip. I start a conversation with Free Palestine.
Yes.
And depending on how that man responds to that, get rid of them if you know, you don't like the response.
Sure.
Sometimes I've been blocked immediately.
Wow.
So perfect.
But I mean, that cuts out a lot of faffing.
yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and instead of a bio, I just have the Palestinian flag, the trans flag, and the gay pride flag. No information about myself. There's clear, up-to-date photographs of me.
Yeah.
And
You're holding a newspaper.
a newspaper, a microphone. Stuff like that can help you along your dating app way.
Yeah.
But generally, I think everybody's going to be disappointed.
It does cut out the skill of chatting, doesn't it?
It does.
Like, when's the last time a lad chatted you up in a bar?
Years, I'd say.
And
Probably.
would you be freaked out if that happened?
No, because I think in the line of work we're in the game we're in, Kevin,
Yeah, and the game we're in.
in the game we're in, your improv is probably off the chain if somebody wants to talk to you in a pub.
Right, yeah,
so I
yeah,
think
yeah.
we're kind of in a safe zone there, perhaps.
Plus, also, you're old enough to remember the before times
the before times.
when you spoke to people's faces.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be freaked out at all.
Yeah,
but
I think younger
probably,
people are really freaked out by it.
I don't blame them.
I think they'd see it as like, who is that fucking weirdo talking to me
yeah.
in a bar?
But these kids probably did their leaving cert on Zoom.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's going to happen. They have stranger danger.
Yeah.
And I read recently that the average age for Irish kids, young people losing their virginity now, has like spiked because people weren't getting the wear during COVID and everything has been kicked down the road.
So you're saying they're losing their virginity at a later...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
Somewhere
It's weird that you're reading these facts.
in my own diary.
You're typing into Google, what age are young people having sex nowadays?
Where do pheromones come out of a woman's head?
Lovely stuff.
I sent a DM to a man, an American lad, Free Palestine.
Right.
It was a positive response. He replied with "Right on, sister," and the
Right on.
right on.
Let me get this clear. He said right on.
Yeah, not
He,
ride.
he wasn't doing like Christy Moore.
No, that would have been cool.
Right on, sister, right on.
That would have been class.
Go, lassie, go.
Oh God, eyes of emerald green. What's that? He did have green eyes. So he responded positively to that.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we queued up the date and I arrived at this guy's accommodation,
Mm-hmm.
he had a Republican flag in the gaff.
Which Republican? Which Republic?
The American Republican flag.
What's the
Sorry.
American? Are you talking about the Southern flag?
He had a Confederate flag
Confederate
sticker
flag.
stuck on his laptop. I saw that as well, but I'm talking about the elephant you know, that
Oh
little
my
symbol.
God, really?
With the red, blue and white.
Yeah.
So he had both of these symbols.
So this is in Dublin.
Yeah.
So this lad's getting onto a plane and he's packing a flag
He packed a flag
to hang up in his fucking hotel room.
Yeah. And the stickers on his laptop left a lot to be desired. So already I knew it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And I wonder, has this ever happened to you? I knew it was going to be a hilarious situation, so I stayed.
Yeah. You're like your body is saying run, but your comedy brain is saying
Is trying to ride it down.
I'll get 7 minutes out of this easily.
Exactly. And I stayed. And with that, I had seen these things and I'm like, I want to get some information here. I need to pull this thread and figure out who he is. I need him to trap himself. He
Yeah.
needs to hang himself now
Yeah.
because I need a story out of
Here's
this.
some rope.
Yeah. And I was trying to ask him about his education because my questions are off the chain on dates, right? And my eye contact as well. So I was asking him about like, what would you have been if he was a mathematician, right? So first mistake. And I said, if you hadn't gotten into that game, what would you have done? And he was chatting away and I very quickly realised he was privately educated.
Right.
And then that led on to him saying that it was a gated school and that there were no people of colour in the school, but he was from Georgia, which I was like, well, that's mad. That's a very
That's a very black-
whitewashed
It's a very black area, though, isn't it, Georgia?
It's a very black
Yeah.
area, but his existence and his education
very,
was
very
very
white. Yeah,
whitewashed
yeah.
and sanitized. And I was like, oh my God, he's so the opposite to
Also,
me.
when he said gated school, I was like, sure, all schools have gates, but these are big gates.
Yeah, these are
weren't-
electronic gates
Oh,
with
right.
a fella like a steward letting people in and out.
Because we had like a C-shaped gate that you'd swing back and forth, but it was very easy to enter our school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there would have been no metal detectors or
No,
whatever.
I get you, yeah.
Yeah, so this guy had a very closed off existence, is what I'm saying. So I was like, wow, so the opposite to me. And he was a nice fella, like he knew his way around. And he was a nice wear. And one thing led to another.
Yeah.
And then he starts in the middle, like this man is on the job.
Right.
And starts telling me about the export and the trade between Ireland and the US. And he had like these facts and figures ready to go.
So hold on a second. He's on the job,
Yeah.
and now he's spouting import-export figures at you.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think is his intention? Is this to get you hot?
I think it was. I think he wanted to impress me with his knowledge of Irish trade.
I feel like he was like, oh, I must impress her with my knowledge of Irish trade. But then he forgot. Then he started having sex with you, and he was like, oh, fuck, I've got all that information written on my hand. Now's the best time to whip out these facts.
Yeah, I think that might have been
Wow.
Somewhere in that realm
Like
is
he's on
what
the
was
Claire
actually
Byrne
happening.
show.
Oh my God, yeah, Vincent Price. Oh no, what was his name?
Vincent Brown.
Vincent Price. Jesus. Kind of the same guy. But yeah, he had all these facts and figures ready to go. It turned out that he's like a mathematician that works in like data analysis, risk assessment for companies that deal in import and export over there.
Okay.
And he asked me while he had his hand in my mouth, what did I think was the biggest export out of Ireland to the US in the last calendar year? And I said, and I'm going to do it right, Guinness? Like, earnestly, I was like, it has to be Guinness. And he was like, he responded with, no, my silly, lucky Irish charm. Oh. That's what he said. So I am figuratively on the flop at that point. I don't want to be there any longer. He asked me again. So I go in again with Dairy Gold. It has to be Dairy Gold. And he was like, no, oh my God, the look of the Irish. And then as the whole thing was coming to a close, he said, it's actually vaccines, live cultures and blood. Oh my God. Kevin, that's what he said. That is as true as Christmas. That's what the fella said.
It's such a confusing story.
And then, of course, it gets worse because while all of this is happening, his phone is ringing and it had rang out a couple of times and it was a FaceTime. I could see it. He couldn't see it the way the whole format was arranged. Yeah. I could see it. I was like, are you going to answer? That was really fucking off-putting. And he was like, it's my mom. And I could see the name. It was Cindy with an S, so I should have fucking known. And then brackets mom, and he accepted the FaceTime. He was bollock naked and she was screaming, crying. It was garbled and I couldn't hear what she was saying, but it was something bad. So I was like, I need to get out of here.
So was he answering the phone naked?
Yeah, but tilting
FaceTime.
FaceTime, but he tilted it up, so she was probably getting more ceiling and like nostril hair.
But so is he standing? Is he on his hands and knees?
He's standing at this point, but then whatever garbled crap she was saying, he received it and understood what she meant. And at that point, he dropped to his knees. She was crying. He was crying. He looks up from the phone and says to me, I'm trying to like grab my bra and my good extensions hairbrush off the side of the bedside table. I'm gone. I've checked out. I've gotten my 7 minutes of content. I need to write this down on the notes section of my phone in a taxi now in a minute. And he was like, you can't leave at a time like this. The president's been shot. And my phone had been dead for hours, right? So I couldn't corroborate this. I thought he was talking about Biden. So I was like, this is a huge news story. What's after happening? And I realised in an instant he was talking about Donald Trump.
He was talking about his president.
His president, his boy.
Still the true president.
Still the true president in his mind's eye. And the apartment door was slamming closed as he was on his hands and knees, bawling his eyes out to his ma in southern Georgia, still rock hard. Kevin, it was a disgrace.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a disgrace. I wish that was an embellishment. I ended up telling the taxi man about it.
Oh my God.
I couldn't get over it. And then, of course, when I got in, at this point, I still wasn't sure on the true facts of what had happened. I wasn't sure whether Head the Ball was brown bread or not.
Yeah.
And I was, God forgive me, I was so filled with excitement. Because I was thinking that's a great round off to my story.
I mean, it would be, yeah, because you know the way people always say, like, where were you when you found out Kennedy was shot?
Yeah.
So for him, rock hard crying to his mum as a lovely Dublin lassie is just exiting his hotel room.
Yeah, with a head full of trade
Head
facts.
full of ideas.
Yeah.
Madness. The president's been shot.
How can you leave at a time like this?
Ellie, I need you. I need you, Ellie. Help me make it through the night. That's
Sickening.
Just,
And then he actually blocked me.
yeah, I'm not.
Isn't that mad?
I'm not surprised. I'm also astounded that there's such a. It really goes to show the disconnect between a man's brain and his penis.
Completely.
That a penis can still be okay. Listen, we can get through this.
Yeah, everything's
But
grand.
his brain, like his world, was collapsing. But
Yeah.
the penis was like, give us 5 minutes.
It's
We can get over this.
astounding. The male body is a great wonder. Like, it's very curious to me. I don't know how he was able to do that, but like that's hard evidence
Yeah.
that there is a complete short circuit there.
It's the little brain.
Yeah,
It's the little brain.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow, that's such a beautiful story, Ellie.
Shocking, isn't it?
Lovely stuff.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
This is a fantastic question. It was actually Sharon Stone in The Quick and the Dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yes.
I'm not
I thought you were gonna
queer.
say Basic Instinct, but she's way hotter in Quick of the Dead.
She is, and it's more...
She's dressed like a cowboy.
I know, I have a thing for cow stuff,
Cow people.
cowboys, cow people,
Do you remember the
cowfolk.
shot? I remember the shot where she's getting out of bed.
Yeah.
She's wearing like a man's shirt.
I know what you're talking about.
Ooh, baby.
Now, I'm only interested in hardware. I'm not gay.
Yeah.
But there was something about that was, in a way, a sexual awakening.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want her. I wanted to be her.
Ah, okay.
And I was like, there's the thing that I want.
You want to be a sexy gunslinger.
The hat on her, the horse. She's a fantastic actor, as we know. Her shorthand, for the want of a better expression, with that animal, I was like, she's amazing. She was able, maybe now looking back, she could have had a couple of stunt doubles for her cantering scenes. All of that may be insurance, whatever, the magic of cinema, we know how it works. But the way she was able to handle the horse and, fitting the saddle and like getting her saddlebags ready,
Yeah.
all of that, those micro bits of those scenes that had nothing to do with the romance
Yeah.
bits of the unfolding story. I was like, she's amazing and I'm in love with her.
Wow.
And I want to be that.
So this is before any sexy singer.
Long
this
before.
is for any lad you saw on Baywatch.
I did love Baywatch, but I wasn't turned on by them.
Yeah, it was
at
Sharon
all.
Stone.
It was Sharon
in
Stone.
Quick and the Dead.
And then, and I will still watch this if I'm hungover or sad or grieving, the exact moment that Eddie Vedder took off his cap and let his hair fall down during the Pearl Jam MTV Unplugged live.
Right.
I watched that on a train coming back from Big Style Atlantic.
Did you?
Yeah. The moment that he let his hair out of the cap, Kevin, I swear to God, I think my pituitary gland went insane the first time I saw it. Now, I was 4 when that was released,
Yeah.
but like discovering it years and years later, when I was about 13, he is my ideal man.
He had lovely curly hair.
There's a mad like surfer beach wave
Yeah,
to it. They're
yeah.
not perfect curls,
No.
but that's what I
Yeah,
want.
it's saltwater curls.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love him so much. I
Do you
still
remember the
love him.
video I think it's for Even Flow maybe, where it's a live concert video. It was always on MTV where he would climb up
The scaffold.
the scaffolding.
Yeah.
And he just looked incredibly strong. And then he drops, doesn't he?
He
from
drops
it, yeah.
on like 50 foot of mic cable.
Yeah.
Now, he's as high as a mountain, I'm sure, but his upper body strength, oh my God.
Yeah.
And the sound of his speaking voice and the sound of his singing voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
who knows what he's saying, but
Amazing.
I can interpret it because I love him.
I think mine was something like the Cadbury's Bunny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
Voiced
see.
by Tara Flynn. I found out years later.
Yeah, that's right. Tara voiced a lot of things that we don't know. Molly from the Morbegs.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
I
yeah,
only
yeah.
recently discovered this when I was sharing a dressing room with her in work.
I think when I first met her, my brain exploded and I was like, why is my brain gone mad? And it was because of the Cadbury's Bunny.
Isn't that remarkable?
Yeah.
That Cadbury's Bunny, I can see it. Jessica Rabbit, also the
Jessica
weird little squirrel with the fake eyelashes in The Rescuers Down Under.
Squirrel.
And also the squirrel in Fern Gully.
Yeah, I think there was a thing with, I'm surprised I didn't become a furry. I was, as a child, very, very attracted to like female squirrels. I think it was the big ass tail.
Really?
Yeah, that big ass tail. What's going on? What's behind that?
Junk in the trunk.
A lot of junk in that trunk.
Yeah, and the big, like, wide doe eyes.
Yeah.
Like Lola Bunny from
Lola in
Space Jam.
Space Jam as
yeah,
well.
probably the best film ever
Yeah.
made.
If you had a time machine and you could go back to any period and do anything for like a day, what would you do?
Another amazing question. These are great date questions, actually.
Are they?
Yeah, they really are. I would go back to the Jurassic period. I am mad about dinosaurs. Yeah. Is that shocking?
Yeah, it's just not something anybody after 11 says. I'm really surprised at you.
Are you?
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be into fucking dinosaurs.
No, man, I am. I feel like I have to defend this.
Yeah, I want you to defend it.
I wanted to be an archaeologist for a time, and I find it fascinating that even now, if someone uncovers the skeletal frame, any part of bone matter of a species of dinosaur that hasn't been found before and hasn't been categorised, they will name it after you.
So that's your plan.
Yeah, but there already is an Allosaurus, as you probably know.
What about a Foxosaurus?
Oh my God, you're blowing my mind. Maybe.
I was mad
Foxodopus.
about Jurassic Park when it came out. And I remember when I was about 11, I wrote a letter to Queen's University in Belfast. And I pretended I was older for some reason. And I'd done a little bit of research. And I found out there was a paleontology course in Queen's, I think. And I'd found out, for some reason, I had the names of some professors who taught there and their papers. And I pretended that I'd read all their work. And I was like,
You're such a little liar. What are you lying for?
I don't know why I'm lying. I don't know why I was lying. I was like, hi, I'm interested in doing your course. I'm 17 years old. I'm going to college next year if I get good marks in my exams. And I've read all your work and I'd named all the work. And it was clearly a handwritten letter by an 11-year-old boy. And they got back to me and sent me loads of stuff. But you could tell the way he'd written it. He was like, I know you're only 11.
I know you're lying
not. I know
through
you're lying
your
to me,
teeth.
but that's adorable. I think he had said like, not... it's not all digging up dinosaur bones. Like it's a lot of other stuff.
Theory and all of that.
Theory
Yeah,
and, like,
paleontology
plants
is just
and everything,
all of that. But it does blow my mind. And also, Kevin, I really want to see the scale of those bastards.
Yeah.
And then maybe I would stop that little wriggly lizard from coming out of the sea to like
Stop
lead
humanity.
To, yeah,
Fair enough.
I would do that. I'd put my finger up to him and say,
No. Back. Get the fuck back in.
yeah.
Are you going back with weapons or are you just going to chance it?
I might go back with my iPhone or something.
Yeah.
Fully charged.
You'd want to have a good charger and a
vape or something.
charging block as well.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prepare,
I
as if
might
you're-
just raw dog it though entirely.
Wow.
Yeah, I might. And I'd also love to go back to the Roman Empire. Like, I'd love to go back ancient Egypt. Or we could just go back, like, say, say 300 years and stand on Dame Street, that would also blow my mind.
Yeah, I'd love to walk around Dublin, just like early Dublin, when it's just like set up.
Just set
Just a
up.
couple of Vikings knocking around and
Yeah.
some Normans maybe.
I'm not mad about them.
Yeah,
They invented prisons in Ireland.
did they?
Yeah, that's where prisons come from.
Bastards.
Yeah, I think they arrived here in 1169.
The first thing they said, we need to lock some of these lads up.
Yeah, look at the state of them. It wasn't good enough just to put them on the stocks
Yeah.
out on Fishamble Street. They needed to be banged up abroad.
Do you have a favourite insult?
This is so funny. Shut your head.
Shut your head.
Yeah, like stop talking, be shut your head.
Never heard that phrase.
That would be a real north side of Dublin thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially where we grew up. But also something that gets me all the time, Kevin, and it's so basic and childlike. Years ago, there was a kid out playing with us, and we were in an estate that was up and coming, and it was very like rough and ready and like the creamiest crop of working class Dublin people. A lot of people that had come out from the tenements that had set up in like Kilbarrack and Harmonstown and Coolock and stuff, and then they finally get mortgage approval and they come to these estates. So you're getting a great mix of Dublin people, right? And some people were extremely house proud because, you know, it's semi-detached and they have 3 bedrooms for the first time and it's all like a deadly time.
Yeah.
Celtic Tiger, Ireland. Strange kind of cat, but it was cool. And with that, a lot of the women in the area decided that they wanted these white stripes on the windows. You know, I forget the actual name for them, but they're like white gridding. Do you know
on
what
the
I'm
windows.
talking about?
Yeah.
Like they're adhesive. It's not
Yes.
a big yoke, but this became all the rage with little conservatories, white linen trousers for all the mas and rockeries and stuff like that. And if one person at the top of the road got it, everyone on the cul-de-sac got it, and everybody was in competition with each other, right? So what I'm coming to is one of the kids that we were playing with was originally from town, and his ma had splashed out getting a loan from the credit union, and she got these white stripes on the windows, these grid things, and no one else could afford it. All of our mas probably wanted it, nobody else had them. And the kid owned the football net and ball that we were playing with, and decided that they wanted to go home and nobody was allowed to touch it, and this happens all the time. And one of the kids I was playing with, this kid called Leon, said, "Shut up you, your house looks cockeyed." And that has stayed with me all my life. I was probably about 10. "Shut up you, your house is cockeyed." And the kid, his world crumbled. His house looked cockeyed. So simple.
So let me just get this straight. These are just like a normal window,
Yeah.
but they want it to look like a specific type of window that's split into grids.
Yeah, I think it might be in keeping with like a Tudor style. Maybe.
okay.
Maybe. I could be wrong with that.
So you had to buy strips
Buy
to
adhesive
stick
strips.
on your window to make it look like a different type of window altogether.
Completely different.
Wow.
You're trying to trick everyone.
You're trying to trick
Yeah.
the fake lashes for your windows.
That's exactly. It's window dressing at its finest. These are like
Wow.
4D lashes.
Never
and
heard
this
of that.
kid was the first one to get it, and his house looked cockeyed.
Oh, wow.
To slag someone's gaff.
I think Dublin kids have great fucking insults.
They really do.
They see into your soul, into what is the most vulnerable part of you, and they fucking hit you across the head with it.
They'll get it. And actually, I'll give you another one now. This is secondhand. I got this at a wedding. An acquaintance of mine, a very funny woman and a brilliant teacher and educator. And she's from the north side of Dublin. There's no flies on her, but she's coming up against these TikTok children now. And they're only small, but they will latch onto something and they will try to tear her down. She loves it because she loves trying to suppress laughter. But the kids know that they're really funny.
Yeah.
And they can see that kind of flicker of like your gas. And one of them pulled her up on yard duty the other day and was like, it was something like, "Shut up you, your ma does brown off a leap card."
Oh, wow.
Now, Kevin, I was at the same time thrilled and so angry that I hadn't come up with it and that I hadn't got that information firsthand. I think the kid was 6. Your ma does brown off a leap card.
I always loved in the film Fatal Deviation, Mikey from Boyzone is playing like a hard man drug dealer, and he's cutting up a line of cocaine with a Dunn Stores value club card.
Wow.
And it immediately just brings him down to earth.
Yeah. So humble. It's so pure.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be like these really successful big drug dealing family. He's got a Dunn Stores value club card. It's actually a fucking unintentionally a brilliant little addition to it.
It's beautiful. That is everything that I hope to become.
The only thing better would be like a Garth Brooks call card from Telecom Éireann.
Have you ever seen one?
I found a box of them in Mam's house there a while ago.
Your own collection?
Yeah, I had a very small collection of call cards.
Wow, I hope you kept them.
There's only like 8 of them. I doubt to be worth anything.
Not even that, but you should
Just
frame
for the memories.
them.
Yeah.
Box frame them. That'll be a lovely little thing.
Lovely stuff.
Well, Ali, this has been lovely.
It's been fantastic.
Thank you very much for filling in for Justine once again.
I'm delighted.
Do you have anything, Anthony, you'd like to plug?
Probably nothing to write home about yet, but sure, you can all keep an eye on the socials for any big announcements.
So follow Ali Fox. What's your Instagram name?
Ali __ Fox on Insta. And
2
I think
underscores.
the same. 2 underscores and the same on TikTok as well.
Savage. So follow Ali Fox for amazing updates. If you're listening to this on the morning it comes out, Friday the 23rd, I'm in Castle Gregory in Kerry tonight. I'm in Dingle the 24th, which is tomorrow. But I mean, you could be listening to this in a year's time. And I'm in Dunleary on the 28th of September and a few other things. Go see me on the 20th of September. Justine's going to be back in a couple of weeks. We have another special guest for you next week. So thank you very much for listening, guys. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you, Kevin.
We'll see you all next week. Good luck.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.